And welcome to the Starting 11 prediction show. It is Tottenham Hotspur versus Liverpool at Anfield this weekend. Big game coming straight back in after the international break. And I am here to predict Jurgen Klopp's Starting 11. But before we do, this video is sponsored by OneFootball. It is a one-stop shop for news, for transfers, for stats, for tactics, all kinds of things going on in that app. You can download it using the link in the description. It is well worth it. Personalised news feed, notifications for transfer news and goals and all that type of stuff if you're not able to watch the game. It's absolutely brilliant. If you just want to keep your eyes peeled on like Manchester City's game, then just turn the bell on just for their game and you will get notified. It's a belter app. I use it every single day. It's absolutely fantastic. You should too. Use the link in the description. But we are here for Liverpool versus Tottenham Hotspur, the Starting 11 predictions show. And in goal for Liverpool will be Alisson Becker. 31 appearances, 18 goals conceded. This man is always going to be playing in between those sticks because he is the best goalkeeper at the football club. And at right back, I believe it will be Trent Alexander-Arnold starting because it's what he does. He's started 20 times in the Premier League, 6 assists from right back. Look at that, 5.39 crosses per game. He's been a revelation this season, and you know I think he's actually improved slightly since we've stopped spelling him with the likes of Joe Gomez and Nathaniel Klein and James Milner. He's got a huge future at Liverpool Football Club. Hopefully he'll be a captain one day. It's what he wants. Hopefully he can achieve everything that he's dreamed of achieving at Liverpool Football Club from that right back position. Centre halves, and I think you know, Dejan Lovren's fit, Joe Gomez is back in training, but this man here, Joel Matip, man, completing 89% of his passes, winning 66% of his defensive duels, winning 66% of his aerial duels. He's stepped up, he's been brilliant. He likes to bring the ball out from defence, he likes to look for a midfielder, sometimes Roberto Firmino. He's one of those guys that teams leave free, and he has to step up and be that guy to bring the team forwards on occasion. And defensively, I've always thought for the longest time he was a little bit too passive. Well, he's not been that over the last couple of months. He's got so much better for playing week in, week out, you know, not being out the side and in the side and all that, and playing alongside Virgil van Dijk. The lad is absolutely brilliant at the moment, and whether Joe Gomez is fit enough to start this game or not, Joel Matip deserves his place in this side. Another fellow who deserves his place in the side, of course, is the best defender in world football right now, and that is Virgil van Dijk, completing nearly 92% of his passes, winning 3.14 defensive duels per 90, winning 66% of his aerial duels and intercepting the ball over 5 times. The lad's class. He is the best defender that I've ever seen at Liverpool Football Club, bar none. That's it. You know, for me, in the time that I've been watching football, Virgil van Dijk stands head and shoulders, literally and figuratively, above all the others, although he's still not my favourite centre-half. That honour still falls to Jamie Carragher. Anyway, at left-back, another player who, you know, I've been talking about him this week, actually, and it's Andrew Robertson, first and foremost. But for me, Andy Robertson right now is, I'm looking back at the time that I've been watching football. I'm 36 years old, you know, so I probably started late 80s, don't really remember much of that, early 90s. There has been no better left-back than Andrew Robertson in that time. And people will say to you, John Alaris and stuff like that. For me, Robertson's a cut above. 8 assists in 29 appearances, 4 crosses a game, intercepting the ball over 3 times a game. The lad epitomises what I want to see in a Liverpool player. He's got that work rate. He wants to fight for the cause. He wants to improve at every occasion. He wants to go forward. He wants to whip the ball. And he wants to score goals. He wants to assist goals. He's much better at assisting goals than scoring goals. But he epitomises this side, and this Liverpool side is much better for having Andrew Robertson, and Liverpool Football Club is much better for having a Scot in the side, because it seems to me like whenever Liverpool have won the league, there's been a Scot in our starting 11. So let's hope this season it's exactly the same. In midfield, in a 4-3-3, I've got Fabinho as that centre midfielder, because listen, I can stand there every single week and tell you his virtues. He's absolutely class. That one-touch, two-touch passing that we see so often, from that ability to hit a ranging ball cross field, that ability to strike fear into the heart of opponent midfielders, running up at them, chasing them down, slide tackle if he needs to, just getting the ball if he does. He's a grade A tackler. He's absolutely superb. His long pass completion is 57%. He's completing nearly 89% of his passes per 90, and he's intercepting the ball over 4.5 times per 90 as well. He's been absolutely brilliant. He's our best midfielder in my opinion, and he deserves his place at the base of this midfield. Then ahead of him, I actually think there's question marks over who it will be. I think it's going to be Jordan Henderson. You know, he split the fan base a little bit over the international break with appearing for England and stuff, but then he got them all back on side by standing up to that fella and just having none of it. But you know what, like, he is the captain of this football club. He is an incredibly good player. And I think if he was to play with a little bit more freedom, maybe in one of those sort of box-to-box midfielder roles, we'll see a better Jordan Henderson than we've seen over the last few months. I hope that he plays. I hope that he goes out there, proves his doubters wrong, because he's an absolute asset to this football club. And we need the likes of him. The fella who's missing out, because the next midfielder that I've picked is actually Gino Wijnaldum. The player I've got missing out in this game is James Milner and Adam Lallana. I do feel like, you know, that workman-like industrious midfield three of Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Henderson could be a really good midfield three for us. And Gino Wijnaldum's been up there for player of the season for Liverpool. And if it wasn't for Virgil van Dijk and Sadio Mane and stuff, we'd still be having that conversation about Wijnaldum, because his form's been absolutely fantastic. And he's just a class player. Look, he's so Dutch, he barely loses the ball, completing 92.8% of his passes. He's winning 4.26 defensive duels per 90, and he's dribbling past his opponent 82% of the time, which is fantastic for a centre midfielder, isn't it? Over on the right-hand side, the man that everyone's been focusing on, the man who's been out on the beach writing, "You'll never walk alone." Actually, he wrote, "You will never walk alone." And I take umbrage with that. It's "You'll never walk alone." Let's use the apostrophe double L, please, Salah. But that isn't the only thing that people have been moaning about. People have been moaning about the goals that he scored, or the goals that he hasn't scored, I should say. But he scored 17 in 31 in the Premier League, and that's 30 starts, 1 substitute, and he's assisted the ball 7 times. This lad's not in poor form. This lad's on a little bit of a goal scoring drought, yes, but his form has been absolutely sound. We saw that ball over to Sadio Mane against Bayern Munich. That's not a player who's low on confidence. The lad just hasn't quite found his shooting boots at the moment, but he will do, because people are going to have to start to focus on Roberto Firmino and, more importantly, Sadio Mane. As soon as they start to focus on Sadio Mane, Salah's going to come in and start scoring goals. And here is the man himself, Sadio Mane. 17 goals as well, 28 appearances with 1 substitute appearance. 10 offensive duels per 90. Look at that. Sadio Mane, 17 goals, 10 offensive duels per 90. The goal that he scored for Senegal against Mali at the weekend, by the way, absolutely superb. Like, he's in such great form, and he knows a lot of the time, I think right now, that he's the best player on the pitch whenever he goes out there, and he is. And teams will, and he has been devastating against Tottenham, and I hope that that form continues. But if it doesn't, I do believe that Salah will step up and stick one in. Or it'll just bounce off his shin and go in. Either way, the last player that I've picked is Roberto Firmino. Roberto Firmino is the glue that holds this front three together. 11 goals, 30 total appearances, 8.58 offensive duels per 90, 2.3 shots per 90 as well. And we all know about how good he is at creating space and finding those little pockets of space to bring other players in and play those 1-2s with. And again, he's a player that people need to focus on, and that should free up the two outside of him. So let's have a little look at the team then, and we'll just move it slowly across. You got Alisson, you got Trent, you got Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Wijnaldum, Salah, Firmino and Mane. And one of the things that I think will come up against Tottenham at the weekend is actually, I think they're going to start playing a 3 at the back. I was speaking to Flav from the Fighting Cock, and he thinks it'll be Vertonghen, Alderweireld and Davison Sanchez as a 3 at the back. And if this Liverpool side play against a 3 at the back, then I expect space here and I expect space here. These guys getting a little bit of chalk on the boots, starting positions right on the white lines of the edge of the pitch, and then looking to drive in, pull those players like Vertonghen, who's a very good centre-back, a top draw centre-back, but in space, we've had the better of him. If you can start pulling him over to the side and moving him out here, Salah one-on-one with a centre-back, I like my chances against that one. Does that make it harder for them to double up on him if their wing-backs are thinking about how to move forward? Tottenham like to play centrally. That's why I've gone with the industrious midfield here. Fabinho, Henderson, Wijnaldum, clog that up, look to get the ball out wide quickly, and then into these lads' feet to put the ball in the back of the net. It sounds simple. It's not going to be that simple. This is a massive 3 points in the title race. Liverpool have got to get 3 points in this game, in my opinion, and let's hope that this is the side that can do that. If you've enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe to the video. Don't forget to check out OneFootball. Do download that app. The link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.